Located just outside of Morgantown, West Virginia, the Longview coal-fired power plant is one of the most advanced, newest, and cleanest burning coal plants in the world. Longview Power CEO and President Jeff Keffer points at the towering three-building complex.
The second building is the boiler building. It's 16 stories tall. That's the boilers in there. That's where the action occurs, where the coal is spewed in. It gets burned. Very, very hot temperatures and turns the water that's going up through the boiler tubes into steam, which we use in the steam turbine.
Construction finished on the plant in 2011. Retrofits were completed in 2015. Keffer says the technology used at Longview is state-of-the-art. While many aging coal-fired power plants in West Virginia and across the country are struggling to stay competitive, Longview runs 24/7. Longview isn't owned by a power utility. It's a merchant plant or independent plant and sells power directly to regional grid operator PJM Interconnection.
We're able to produce electricity more efficiently than any other coal plant in our region, the PJM region. We're able to do it at lower cost than just about any other fossil fuel. That includes gas-fired plants.
And yet, in 2019, Longview announced it was going to diversify how it produces electricity.
So we wanted to combine with our clean coal plant the benefits of having a large gas-fired plant, and then the benefits of having a renewable solar plant to that as well.
A 1,200 megawatt gas plant and 70 megawatt solar farm will sit adjacent to the coal plant. Keffer says branching out makes economic sense.
On the solar side, there are companies, often most large companies, Facebook, Google, others, that have set corporate objectives of obtaining all their power from renewable sources. They're willing to pay significantly more for that power.
Keffer says building a gas plant also made business sense, given the region's abundance of natural gas. Natural gas production in the Appalachian Basin has grown rapidly since 2012 and is projected to grow exponentially over the next few decades. Neighboring states have taken advantage of low-priced gas by building gas plants. West Virginia is still primarily burning coal, and although power prices in West Virginia are still lower than many states, the Mountain State has gone from having some of the cheapest electricity in the country to being in the middle of the pack. And as the nation's coal plants age, Keffer says their operating and maintenance costs will rise. While he understands the need to support coal, he says consumers will pay.
We try to keep those plants running, partly because of employment issues, partly because of those who extract coal from the ground and mine it. But at the same time, we're not doing anybody any favors, particularly ratepayers for the utilities, paying the costs of the losses those plants are incurring right now.
Brian Lego analyzes coal trends for West Virginia University's Bureau of Business and Economic Research.
2020, I think, will end up being a weaker year.
He says, despite efforts by the Trump administration to reduce regulations on the coal industry, all signs point to the domestic coal market continuing to struggle.
Domestic markets have essentially shriveled in size because of what's happened with respect to the electric power sector, transitioning to gas, renewables, all other fuel sources beyond coal. So that's really changed the whole shape and size of the coal industry's performance.
2019 marked some very high-profile coal bankruptcies, including of Black Jewel. The West Virginia-based company suddenly declared bankruptcy in July. More than 1,000 miners had their paychecks clawed back. Dozens of miners spent nearly 2 months blocking a loaded coal train in Harlan County, Kentucky in protest. Last year, coal companies Blackhawk and Murray Energy also sought bankruptcy protection.
Went in there and mined that coal. Now they want their money.
Bill Rainey with the West Virginia Coal Association says, despite those setbacks, he's confident West Virginians will continue mining coal.
The domestic need for steam coal to make electricity is diminished. Still there, and we still got the best coal in the world here in West Virginia. So we got the best coal miners, the best coal mine managers. So we got all that equation put together, but they're still struggling, and it's because of the market sensitivity that we have.
But markets could be our problem this year. Lego at WVU says since 2017, West Virginia has benefited from overseas market demand for metallurgical or steel coal. But that demand is cooling off.
As far as the met coal market is concerned, we've seen a decline in prices, and that price is a reflection of the state of demand, how it's starting to, come off of these sugar highs that we had in 17 and 18. So things are coming down, and recalibrating, I think, is the word you want to use.
In recent months, coal operators, including Blackhawk and Copperglow, have closed or idled mines in the region. Preliminary federal data show while employment was mostly stable from 2018 to 2019, coal production in West Virginia fell about 25% last year. And in the last decade, employment has fallen by more than 1/3. For the Legislature Today, I'm Brittany Patterson.